Hello, let's do another simulation. So we are exploring the common emitter amplifier that is a gain stage, and we are exploring it for discrete transistor applications where we can use resistors, and so we can use the voltage divider biasing network or the four resistor biasing network. Now, in the circuit that we have here, we calculated the gain to be approximately 10, meaning 20k, what we have in the AC resistance connected to the collector, which technically is RC in parallel with RE, again because VCC does not move with AC voltages, so it is an AC ground, and the capacitor is a short, so RC in parallel with RL. But notice RC is 20k and RL is 500 meg, and so RC in parallel with RL is going to be close to RC. So that's the numerator for the gain, and in the denominator is everything that we have connected to the emitter, which is going to be always the base emitter resistance, Re prime, the junction resistance, Vt over ICQ, in this case around 50 ohms, with everything else that we have connected there, that in this case is, we have an Rg of 10 mega ohms, and the capacitor is shorted, so it is 10 mega ohm in parallel with Re. That's going to be close to Re, 2K, and 2K plus 50 is approximately equal to 2K. So this is what we were already exploring before. Re is much larger than Re prime, and so we achieve temperature stability with that. We already conducted this simulation for a 1 millivolt input signal at 1 kilohertz. The output is 10 times larger, approximately. Now, what happens, however, if the load becomes comparable to RC? Okay, I'm going to say 20K. Well, let's calculate. What will happen in this case? Well, we cannot neglect it now. They are in parallel, right? And so we are going to lose half of the gain with that. 20K and 20K gives us 10K. 10K divided by 2K, we're going to see half of the gain lost due to loading. And you see that. So what can we do? Well, we need an output stage. And if we wanted also to increase the input impedance, we may want to have an input stage. This is a gain stage, not an input stage or an output stage. And so what can we do in that case? Let's look at the output impedance. Our output impedance in this case, R out, was given by the impedance that you have at the meter. What is the impedance that we look here from the load? It is RC in parallel with the impedance of the transistor. Okay, so I'm going to say output impedance. Just a second. I'm going to say output impedance is approximately equal to RC in parallel with the impedance of the transistor, which is very high, so it's going to be approximately equal to RC, which is very high. We want voltage amplifiers with low input impedance, low output impedance. And actually, the input impedance looking from here is also not that high, right? We have that R into the amplifier. For AC, we have R1 in parallel with R2. R1 and R2 are in parallel because VCC is an AC ground in parallel with the impedance. This is R in, with impedance looking from here, Ri, which is from the base, the resistance that you see in the emitter is amplified times beta. So it's going to be beta times Re prime. This is in series, and then we can take two paths here and here, and so we have plus Re in parallel with Rg. And if we design the biasing network right, the smaller of all this is going to be R2, so this is probably going to be close to R2, slightly lower than R2. So in this case, what is the input impedance of the overall amplifier? 20K. What is the output impedance? 20K also, in this case 20K. If we need to drive a 20K load, this doesn't work. So what can we use? We can put an output stage, a buffer, and the amplifier to do that is the common collector amplifier, meaning we take the output at the emitter, not at the collector, also known as the emitter follower. Notice what happened here in this circuit. If we were to take the output here at the emitter, let's do it again. So we have an input. Our output at the emitter is going to follow the input. We don't have a gain. Oh, let's do it after the capacitor. Actually, let's do this. So what we can say is that we have no gain. The emitter follows the input, and this may be useful. Actually, it's useful, as you're going to see, to create a buffer. So let's think about the common collector, also known as emitter follower. The DC design is the same as what we will do for a common emitter amplifier. We can use a 4-resistor network, as we did before. But instead of, and we are going to couple the input to the base, and instead of taking the output at the emitter, this is for the common emitter amplifier, which is a gain stage. As you saw, we amplify. We don't do that. The collector now is the common, input at the base, output at the emitter. If we do this, the gain for a wiggle here, we're going to get approximately the same thing. So the gain is going to be approximately equal to 1. But the impedances, the output impedance is very low. So let's look at the input impedance and the output impedance. The input impedance is not different than what we saw before. But if we are not designing this for gain, we can optimize it to have higher input impedance. So the impedance looking from here is going to be R1 in parallel with R2. Why is that? Because this is VCC. A DC voltage source looks to an AC signal as ground, and that's why you have two resistors with one terminal here in common, and then they have another terminal in common for AC. In parallel with, this is in parallel, so anytime that you have the choice of going this way, or that, you have parallel with the emitter resistor and RE, everything that you have here. So if we connect the load, also here, is going to be beta times anything that you, from the base, anything that you have in the emitter is beta times that resistance, RE prime plus RE in parallel with R load. You have the load there. And what we are going to see, which one is the smallest of this? This is going to be 100 times. If you design this right, this is going to be close to R2. Again, the same as the common emitter amplifier, but we can design it to have a large RE. We are not optimizing gains, so that we increase the R2. Let's look at the output impedance, the impedance looking from R load. Now, from R load, if we disconnect R load, we see R load is going to be a path to ground through RE, and another one through RE prime, that then also gets in parallel with R2 and R1, because VCC, a DC source, looks like ground for an AC signal. So that is RE, so this path here to ground, and we have this other path in parallel with RE prime plus, and then the impedance in the base. And from the meter, any resistance that you have in the base gets reduced by beta. R1 divided by R2 divided by beta. Again, from the base, any impedance that you have in the meter is beta times larger. From the meter, any impedance that you have in the base is beta times smaller. So with this, let's go ahead and design a circuit. Remember, what we have done here is that for a large load, like at least 100 times larger than RC, we have a gain of 10, but if we reduce the load and we make it comparable, in this case equal, we lose half of our gain due to loading, 5 millivolts for a 1 millivolt signal. So what can we do? We can add this emitter follower. So what I did here was to, instead of taking the output out of the collector, I'm going to take it out of the emitter. I could do two designs. I could either do a coupling capacitor and then use a 4 resistor biasing to bias it. But since the output was already centered, since VC was already at 10 volts, what we have here is 10 volts at the base, almost 10 volts, right? 10 volts minus 0.6, 0.7 at the emitter. And it is going to follow the same signal that I already had at the collector. So what happens if we do this? Let's run it with the same gain. Bang, we got our gain of 10, right? Now we can get any gain that we want. Again, this is a common collector. Now the collector is common to a signal injected in the base and taking it out of the emitter. It's also known as an emitter follower, because the signal that you have at the collector and at the emitter is the same. In this case, at the collector is shifted by, it will be centered at 10 volts, right? And so you cannot see it, but it is. Now, let's go ahead and design this for another voltage. Let's imagine that we wanted a gain of 20. It's still controlled by the common emitter. And RG controls the gain. So if we want to double it, we can reduce this to 2K, and now we have in the collector still 20K plus the input impedance looking to the next stage, and approximately 20K. In the emitter, we have 2K in parallel with 2K, 1K, so now the gain should be 20, and we should not have loading. So this is working. We could also do a 3-stage amplifier if we wanted to increase the input impedance. We could optimize and create a common collector, meaning an emitter follower for the input stage with a gain approximately equal to 1, but we see in optimize as high as possible. This is my input. Then we will have our gain stage, the common emitter, with the gain that we want, but moderate input impedance and high output impedance, that is something that we don't want. And then the output stage, which will be another common collector or emitter follower, with a gain approximately equal to 1, and the C output as low as possible. This will be our output, and that will be a 3-stage discrete amplifier. Thank you.